Economic collapse news. Well, gang, this is Mike with My Real Estate Dojo, and thank you for clicking the like button and leaving me a comment of your thoughts below. So let's dive in. Well, let's start with the markets today. You're seeing that the stock markets are, of course, in green. You're looking at the crypto market, and crypto's also in green. And if you look at the gold market, gold's a little down, but still today it's in green. So if you're just zooming across this information, you may think that the bull market is over. We're heading into, um, a positive market. The bear market is over. We're heading to a bull market. And, if you're thinking about cryptos, if you're looking at the stocks, you may think that. And even though I don't have a crystal ball, I personally think that there's a lot more pain going to be coming. Okay. We really haven't had the flushing happen. Well, what do I mean? In a crypto market, every cycle that I've studied, it goes down 80%, if not more. This time we didn't hit that. Bitcoin didn't hit 80% down. Okay. Um, and if you look at the stock market, if you just go back from the beginning of the stock market, all you see is a line going up. Stocks have not really taken a big haircut. And I believe that in this near future, we may have another bull run. Okay. But after that, you can pretty much, unfortunately, say is tapped out. Okay, that's just what I believe, and that's what my opinions are. Because if you're watching the world, uh, what's going on around the world, what's going on with Europe, what's going on with Russia, what's going on with Iran, if you are watching what's going on with uh, OPEC, if you're watching what's going on with America going and visit Venezuela, they're going and visit all these other countries like the Saudis. Then you might have a different viewpoint like I do because you're seeing all the chess moves move at one time. But if you're just focused on listening to the ABC News of America, then you just have a one-pointed view. So I personally believe that if this conflict in Europe doesn't end very, very soon, we're going to see even higher gas prices that, again, over, or even gas shortages depends on what pops off. If, for example, something pops up in the Middle East with Iran, then you can expect gas prices to be $100 a gallon if you can find it. Okay. Now, everyone seems like a lot of people seems like they're feeling really good right now. They feel like the market's going to go up, and more power to you. Personally, me, I'm sitting on the sideline, and I believe that in the crypto market there's more room to fall. We may get a fake rally. We may get a couple of points up, 20, 30% up. But personally, I'm still sitting out waiting for those low numbers that I talked to you guys about, 7,000 to $12,000. Once it hits 15,000, I'll start buying into Bitcoin again and other cryptos. But at this current time, I'm still sitting it out. Personally, not financial advice for you. This is just what I'm doing. So what's going on in the economy is that the housing sector is definitely slowing down. Some cities are being a lot more affected than other cities. For example, in Texas, in Dallas, in Coppell, I was seeing a lot of homes for sale. Okay, if you look at Austin, Texas, the same thing is happening. Now, if you go to different parts of the nation, maybe some cities are not being affected. Okay, so it's like a hit and miss, but the areas that are being hit pretty hard. Okay, and this is the beginning of the rodeo in my opinion. We may see a rally in the stock market, in the crypto market one more time, but I think that the time of, stock market just going up and up decade after decade is pretty much over. Why? Because I believe that we're going to have ultra high interest rates in America. At one point in America, we had 17, 18% interest rate. I believe that time is going to come again. And if it doesn't come, then you can bet that the dollar is going to be collapsing. You can bet there's going to be civil unrest on the street. You can bet there's going to be hard times. Why? Because inflation is just going to be raging. Now, why do I say that? It's pretty simple. Look what's happening in Sri Lanka. Look what's happening to all these other countries. In the past history when inflation just rampant. Look what happened to Germany. So that said, I believe that there's more pain coming. This is just a quick band-aid to cover it up because elections are coming. However, if the things don't cool off in Europe and this fight continues and escalates to the Middle East, then you can bet $100 gas if you can find it. If you can find it, and you can also bet that if they don't jack up the interest rate to 19%, that you're going to have inflation just killing people, right? At the same time, we're also going to be getting a lot of job loss. A couple of months ago, I told you guys that, hey, the world we live in is a world of duality. It's like a pendulum. The pendulum swing to the right, which was everyone was hiring. Now the pendulum is going to swing all the way to the left, and that's the world we live in. It's the world of duality. That's why we have light and dark. This is what it is, and it's not I'm smart. It's just I realize that we live in the world of duality, and so we've gone from one spectrum of having massive job openings, right, to the other spectrum where we're going to have massive loss and people are going to be struggling to find a job. This is just my personal views and opinions by watching what's going on. So we're shifting from, too much jobs to, man, I better hold on to this job. And now, if you don't believe me, if you just look at your social media, you'll see people you may know, people you may be friends with, associated with, they're already starting to lose their jobs. Okay. Now, in the car industry, man, I mean, you drive around and look at all the dealerships. I don't care if you're talking about Nissan, you're talking about Benz, you're talking about whatever. Many of these dealerships don't have car inventory. Well, this is a whole industry, not just one dealership, two dealerships. I'm talking about a whole industry. What happens to all the sales guys there? What happens to all the finance managers there? What happens to all the finance people that work there? What happens to the receptionists that work there? What happens to the management of these places? What happens to the mechanics of these places, the service guys of these places? What happens to the part guys and the manufacturers of the part guys? And so it's a chain effect. And that's what people are not seeing is some of the sectors in America are getting hit pretty hard. But again, if you're listening to the news, everything is rosy. If you're looking at the stock market, we're up. But again, in my opinion, there's more haircuts coming. There's more pain coming, especially if this thing doesn't get resolved in Europe. If it does get resolved, then we can probably see a very high pump in all this stuff, from Bitcoin to stocks. And it might be the very last pump before, the dollar breaks. Okay. Because if you look at the stock market, it's just going up and up and up since the beginning of the stock market. It's never came down. It's like always up and up and up. Right? At one point, it has to break because it's artificial. Something doesn't just go up all the time. If you zoom out in the stock market, it looks like a Bitcoin. Just question is how far do you zoom out? If you just zoom out 3 years, then no. If you zoom out 100 years, 60 years, 70 years, you'll see just straight going up. And this is what I guess like a rig market, in my opinion, looks like, something that never comes down. Anyways, guys, thank you for clicking the like button. Thank you for leaving a comment. If you have any questions, comments, leave it below. If you're interested in working with me directly regarding real estate, check out my website or download my free book at myrealestatedojo.com. Much love. Peace. Real quick, download my free book, Real Estate Investing for Beginners, the ultimate starter guide at myrealestatedojo.com, where I teach you how to find motivated sellers, buy their homes at a deep discount, and then have the seller become your own private bank. Subject to, get it now. One more thing, if you're looking for private one-on-one help when it comes to real estate investing, then consider joining my academy where you sit down with me one-on-one. 2, you get monthly coaching. 3, you get access to my best-selling courses. 4, you get access to my video library, and then the list goes on for just $97 a month. Join me now at MrNoFluff.com. Lastly, the best six-figure side hustle, bicycle flipping. Want to see how? Here's a behind-the-scene video how I did it. Go to thebestsidehustle.mrnofluff.com. Now let's get back to the content.